Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Yes,
it is Tuesday already.
If you're having a deja vu, last week we did say this is Wednesday and this is Moby, but
now it's Tuesday. But it's still Moby. But
yes.
We did have a big Wi-Fi problem, didn't we, last week? And we didn't want Moby not to get through to people because she's a nice brand, isn't she?
And it was a bit, I think a lot of people were disappointed. They were looking forward to it. There's already a lot of comments on the live. We just couldn't see you.
Yeah, we couldn't see you. It's as if you didn't exist. But hopefully today, so if you can hear us loud and clear, do let us know and we'll be able to reply to you. So I'm just going to bring this all up. So Moby, new brand into Pushchair Expert, isn't it? We love baby carrying, don't we?
We do, yeah. We've both done it with our children. For me, for my 3 children, it made a massive difference to how I could parent, I think, and was a big part of it. So keen to pass that on to other parents, whether it's just having a carrier or a wrap for in the house when you've got the newborn stage and then you maybe don't use it again, to the people that want to put their toddler on the back while they go to walk the dogs. It can help all different kinds of lifestyles. It's
very versatile, isn't it? And I think some people are a little bit scared of carrying, and I think when you first start it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But
we've just done it this morning and the lady was just like, she was completely put off from last time and just wanted to start fresh because it really put her off.
Yeah, I tried with my first, and I'll be honest, I didn't work in the industry. An expensive carrier, and wasn't comfortable. And I thought, oh, I'm the wrong shape. My baby doesn't like it. I'm the wrong shape. And I just literally tried it once, gave up. Did it with my youngest, knew a lot more at that point. Took us a while for us both to get used to it, but we loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So it's finding the right carrier for you. And for little one.
And often if you find your carrier's uncomfortable, it's because it needs adjusting, isn't it? So let's see who we've got here. We've got Natalie Angeline's already tagged her friend. So thank you for tagging Tanya in this morning. Roxanne Smith says hello. NT Tabazum says hello. And Coral Valentine Newton, that's a nice name, has joined us this morning. Claire Farley says she can hear us both, which is great.
Good, yes.
Yep, and Claire Whiteley says loud and clear, and she's got like a little party face, so we just need to have a little party, Claire. Teresa...
I'm glad Claire is there and that she obviously is not having baby because I think Sam's tried to ring her this morning.
Yes, Sam has tried to ring you this morning, Claire, so you should have an answer phone message with very good news. So let us know if you haven't had it or check your answer phone messages. Emily Davies, good morning, and she says she loves wearing her baby. Let us know how old little one is, Emily, and what carrier you've got. Definitely. We'd love to know that. Claire Whiteley also says she loves the look of the Moby Move.
Yes.
So let's have a look at Moby because we've got a lot of brands now in store, haven't we? Baby-wearing wise. We've got Ergo Baby, which we've covered a lot on our lives. We've also got Close, and we've got Isme, and now we've welcomed Moby into the team. So Moby, tell us a little bit about Moby.
So they released their first wrap in 2003, so it was the Classic Wrap, which we are going to show you how to tie in a moment. So they released that in 2003, and the name, I did cover this last time, so if you didn't remember, or if you have, you're just repeating yourself, but it's Mother and Baby, that's where the name comes from.
Moby, Mother and Baby. So we've actually got an amazing prize this morning, haven't we?
We have.
Tell us about our prize this morning.
You could win a classic Moby Wrap.
Woohoo! Little dance.
Just hands.
Hey!
We do have a few different colours in stock, so we will send you the link, whoever wins, and you can choose from, and we'll have it tomorrow. All you've got to do is just comment, have a chat with us this morning, and we'll pick randomly at the end.
And if you shared, thank you very much, because sharing is caring. And, there's not many retailers throughout the UK who've got an in-house baby wearing consultant.
I thought you were just going to say who has a Kelly.
Who has a Kelly. Not many people have a Kelly. And anybody watching from another retailer, you're not having my Kelly. So, Kelly, you've done obviously the consultant's course. You're a qualified baby wearing consultant. Yes. Can you explain to us what you had to do in order to become a qualified consultant?
Yeah, so I spent 2 days in London. And
partying?
Overnight. Yeah, absolutely.
So jealous.
Rock and roll.
This was before COVID, I'd like to point out.
Yeah. Is this 2 years ago now?
Yes, a couple of years,
Yeah, it probably is, yeah. So I went down to London and spent a couple of days doing some training, looking at lots of different carriers, looking at safe baby wearing. And then when I came back, I had quite an intensive coursework to complete.
It is an intensive course, isn't it? Yeah. Unless you have that knowledge, you're not going to get through it, are you?
So usually we do the peer support one first and then go on to consultancy, but because of how I'd done it in my experience, I went straight to consultancy. And yeah, did the coursework.
You
thankfully
passed. Yeah, I can't remember. Do you do a video about it?
You can
was it you do a leaflet?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Mine was a leaflet.
You did a leaflet. I
don't know why you did a video. I could have done a video.
Yeah.
But doing what we do, that would probably be better. But yeah, I did a leaflet and I passed.
Yeah, good. So she passed. So well done. So if you've got any questions about baby wearing, we would class a number of us in store as baby wearing experts, very, very passionate about it. But to have our in-house consultant to refer to, we're really, really lucky. So the classic...
I'm going to remind you that later.
Are you? Mm-hmm. What, that I'm really lucky?
Yes.
Yeah, I am really lucky,
You are
Kelly.
lucky.
Give us a thumbs up if you think that I'm really lucky to have Kelly here. So, all you need to do to enter our competition today to win a Moby Classic Wrap in your choice of colour is just to join in with the chat. Any questions you've got, do let us know, and we will try and answer them. Molly Sarah Travis says she's going to... Oh, I've lost your message, Molly. Going to Babywear with her next until my daughter is fully out of her pushchair. She's walking, but not confident. She's not confident with her not being in the pushchair yet. Yeah, no, I understand that.
So rather than get a double, that's another reason that people might Babywear. They're going to have 2 children quite close in age. Don't really want to have a bigger double pushchair. So they maybe go for Babywearing that they can switch over, have...
And often you can Babywear your older one, Babywear your younger one, and the opposite one can be in the pushchair. Yeah. So depending on your pushchair, depending on your carrier. Beth and Thomas, really good question this morning. What's the difference between a sling and a carrier?
So it's kind of just a term that you use to generalise. So Babywearing, it can be carriers, it can be slings. It's not a specific. So when you get down to it, is in types, it's more like Stretchy Wrap. It's a structured carrier. It's a Mai Tai. That's when it's the kind, but a sling or a carrier is kind of universal.
Yeah, and I think it is. Babywearing can be very, very addictive, can't it? There are people who have a lot of different carriers.
I've spent a lot of money, especially with my middle child. I was like, that's my peak Babywearing time, and I spent a lot of money on carriers, wraps, slings.
Yeah, I think I probably, with my youngest, had 5 or 6 different ones.
Yeah.
Some for different occasions.
And probably
some as she grew, different ages as well.
I'm over fingers and toes amount.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So, Claire Farley says, can you start Babywearing from birth?
Yes. Yep. So I know one of the questions we get often asked is about even if you have a C-section, you can still Babywear. I have had 3 C-sections and baby born in the hospital straight away the next day to enable me to get about a little bit with baby and get out of bed, make things a bit easier. But yeah, as long as you do it safely in a way that's not too much for you and obviously isn't not got anything over your scar area, then it's fine to do straight away from birth.
So Becky Moore says, these look great. Are any of these suitable for dad to wear as well?
All of them.
Yep. Or your carriers.
I must say that dads seem to be happy with buckles and mums seem to prefer a stretchy wrap, but obviously that's a bit generalised.
Sweeping statement there for a Tuesday morning.
It is
sweeping statement.
Nobody shoot me. But it tends to be what we find people come into store. The dads want a buckle carrier and mum wants a more softer newborn carrier.
So shall we start with the Moby carrier?
Yeah.
Because I think your Moby wrap. I think wraps for some people are a little bit daunting. But what I would say is I was at first, 5 years ago, I was like, ooh. But once you know, and it's really easy, isn't it?
Practice makes perfect with any kind of carrier, I think. So the more you do it, the easier you get with it and quicker you can do it. So just covering a few that we're going to look at. So we've got the Moby Wrap, which is, you can get it in the classic or also the Evolution Wrap, which is a different kind of fabric and it's a different pattern. Well, your classic is your solid colours. You've also got the Moby Fit Hybrid, which if you know about carriers, the close caboo is very similar to that. But they've been so popular in store, we've sold them all. So I can't show you that one.
You're just going to have to imagine that one.
Yeah, so it's quite similar. It's just a different back. The back on it is, you've got more of a panel rather than just a cross. You've got more of a panel on your back as opposed to the close caboo, but very similar how it works. It's kind of a stretchy wrap, that's pre-tied for you.
So what we'll do is we'll make sure we pop that one in another Babywearing live on another day. Because today we're looking at the brand Moby, but we might do one where we look at all the wraps or from all the different brands.
And then we've also got the Move, which is your all-position carrier. So these very popular for newborn stage, and they are tested from 8 to 32 pounds or up to 15 kilos, which is like 3 years old.
Yeah, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, but probably you're going to move on to something a bit more structured. You've just answered Bonnie Knight's question, because she said, "Is there a set weight for a wrap?"
Yeah,
they've all got set weights. So these, your Evolution wrap is up to 13.6 kilo, your Classic wrap is up to 15 kilos, and then your carrier here is up to 20.4 kilos. So they say that is
around about 4 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 years old.
So, and that's another question we've just had. Are there any carriers that you can do from birth right away until you don't need one? So yes, there are some options that will last longer.
Yeah, so this goes from £7. So obviously premature babies are going to be quite a lot less than that. So you might be better looking at something like the Close Caboo, which goes from £5. But the Fit Hybrid that we've not got here, that goes from 3.5 kilos to 4 kilos as well. But a stretchy wrap, that's going to be a perfect fit for a tiny newborn baby. The material is really nice and soft, and you can fit it perfectly for them, no matter how tiny they are. Whereas something like this is more of a generic size, so it goes from £7 just to make sure it fits right.
Yeah, I have to say, I loved wrapping a newborn. Yeah. First few months,
they're so close,
it's
so
just
squidgy,
like a cuddle. So we've got a question: how do we fit a wrap? As if by magic.
How do we tie a wrap?
How do we tie a wrap? We have our babies down here. They're very, very well behaved.
We do. We have had a special request as well from one of our regulars, Zara. She's asked if we can show how to do twins. So you can also use a stretchy wrap.
Shall we start with one child and then we'll move on to...
We're just going to add an extra one.
We'll just add an extra child. Yeah. It's what you do when you've got twins. Just add an extra one in. Marie Ann Ryder says, are they one size fits all? Yes. Look at the length of this. Yeah. You know, it is one size fits all.
I think this is why it's daunting sometimes, because it is a long piece of material.
But I have to say, when I was using my wrap for my third child, I used it so much on the school run. So I put my wrap on at home.
That's the thing with the wrap, you pre-tie it. So wrap yourself, then wrap baby.
Yeah, I pre-tied it at home where I'd got a little bit more time.
So no wrap dangling
Didn't get on the floor
car
or
park
anything.
Or anything. No.
Pre-tied it, got in the car, got to my destination, got my daughter out of her car seat, and just popped her in. And it was just really, really easy. And I bet
often if she was asleep, she would stay asleep. Yeah, she's straight to the good into you. And the movement as you're moving about. So we've got a question from Molly Sarah Travis, which I know that Kelly will feature in a moment, but she's asking about the M shape with a newborn. How do you fit a newborn in it? So that they are quite squished up, obviously, anyway, but they naturally will have their knees tucked up, which creates that M shape for you anyway. You just don't want to stretch them out too much.
Don't stretch them out. Don't stretch. We've got newborn twins in, haven't we, at the moment? They're in store.
That's why we're a little bit late.
We were just oohing and ahhing over.
Maybe we should have brought those in and wrap them up.
Newborn twins.
Let me just take your babies and wrap them up.
Right, so we are having a look at our Moby Classic Wrap this morning, and you could win one. Join in with the chat. If you've hit share, thank you very much. We really, really do appreciate you sharing. Let's have a look how we're going to tie it, Kelly.
Okay. So it's made from 100% cotton fabric. You can feel the stretch in it. It's not too much.
It's so soft, isn't it? Really soft, and this hasn't been washed yet, but you can wash these, can't you?
You can break them in a little bit. You will find some people, not that I should really say that, but they won't buy new. Because they want something that's already broken in for them and a bit cushy.
I didn't find that to be an issue, I'll be honest.
But this is really soft out of the box. Yeah. So you've got your bits here. You're finding your centre mark, which you've already got your nice Moby logo on, which is really obvious. So when you're trying to find it to then put it back in position, which I'll show you in a second, it's really easy to see.
So Kelly's got to mind a microphone as she's doing this. It really is a skill in itself. Yeah, so I tied my hair up today. Can you see? I was ready.
You was ready. So what you're doing is you've created this kind of bit around your chest, if you pull it up here, and that's your centre mark still. And then you put in one side at one shoulder and one side up on the other shoulder. And what you've created there is a cross on your back.
So I'm just going to move Kelly's hair out of the way. Look, so we can see we've got our cross here. Now, does it matter if you've got the material creased over itself?
It doesn't really matter. If you've got quite a large twist in it, once you've tightened it may like be a bit diggy and a bit more supportive if it's wider.
Yeah.
So you want to try not to, but it's not really going to affect the tie.
We've got some questions about how much they are. We'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah, I've got them all written down.
And we've also got lots of people due in the summer and they're worried about baby overheating. So we'll come back to that in a moment. So we've done our cross on our back.
And now you're going to create a cross on the front.
Okay, and you've got a little Moby mark that shows the middle. Now, if that's not quite in the middle, is that a big deal?
You're just going to have one tail a little bit longer than the other.
So it's not a massive deal.
You don't want this too baggy either, so you kind of don't want to have to adjust too much once you're putting baby in. So kind of just make it so that you can just get baby like slotted in there. So take a little bit of the slack out, and then you're going to post these two tails underneath this section. So you've got them like this, and then you're going to cross those. So this is creating the cross that then baby's bum's going to sit on.
So you've got a cross on the back.
Cross on the back.
Cross on the front.
Cross on the front.
Perfect.
Supportive for you, supportive for baby. Cross here. And then I'm just going to tie off here. If you're smaller than me, you'll probably tie it, just pass it around the back and then tie it again at the front. But I'm just going to tie it off with a double knot, really simply.
And you
like
find different wraps are more comfortable to tie in different places. I had one.
Or how you're using them.
Yeah, I had one that I just tied at the side. I just found it more comfortable.
So if you're sitting down with baby,
in the car,
I
tied
on
at
your
the
back,
side.
it's not going to be comfortable. So yeah, you might want to tie it on your hip. I've also got a microphone that I've got to be careful of.
Microphones all
I'll
over.
be off.
Yeah, microphones all over the place. And your hair, you're going to be in deep trouble today. Sorry if you go a bit puzzling, but it's quite difficult to show you. We're looking at the Moby Classic Wrap at the moment, and we are giving one away.
$44.99.
Well done.
Who's this?
$44.99. All you need to do is join in with the chat. Any questions that you've got for our in-house qualified baby wearing consultant, please do ask, because Kelly will be more than happy to answer them. Then there's no such thing as a silly question, is there?
No. If there's something you're unsure of, just ask.
And you can bet your bottom dollar somebody else is unsure of it.
So we're going to cover this little bit up here, but this is, say we've got a newborn baby.
Got a t-shirt on, but yeah.
You've got the wrong t-shirt on, baby, come on.
Yeah, so these we've got a couple of models that we use in store.
Weighted dolls. So
they do say Ergo Baby because we do have the Ergo Baby wraps as well. But we just borrowed them here to demonstrate the Moby. They're not complaining, they don't mind, so it's okay.
They don't. So next what you're going to do, your pass that you've got underneath, you're going to put baby on the opposite shoulder and put one leg through until it just sits in their knee pit.
Now, if they're younger, obviously you need to really support their heads, don't you?
Oh yeah, I'm not very supportive of a newborn baby.
And that baby's ruffling your microphone up as well. Hopefully you can all hear us. So they are saying that that's a very reasonable price for a wrap. Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and especially because it is, if you wanted to, going to take you up to 15 kilos. You just, with a larger baby, an older child, you're going to have to tie a little bit tighter so there's not as much movement.
Just to give baby a little bit more support. So Georgia says it looks very comfy for baby. You wait, Georgia, until we've got it all the way in.
So kind of sit baby here. So I know somebody's already mentioned the M shape. So you can see there, if this baby had knees, which it does
baby
not,
doesn't have knees.
You can see it's creating that M shape by just sitting it in the knee pits. It's forcing baby's bum down a little bit, so that's where it's going to create the M shape. So you've got knee up, bum down, knee up, and then down to the foot.
So really is making a good M shape.
Then you're going to
Zara Cave has joined us. I'd love you if you could show us how to position twins. Hold your horses, Zara. We're on our way. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'll do it, I promise. I've brought two in just for you, Zara. Then you're going to spread the material so it goes from knee to the other knee. So babies will do whatever they want with their arms. They might have them in their face, they might have them spread out, just whatever's comfortable for them is fine. Then spread the other material. This is quite a thick wrap, I think, in comparison to some of the others we've got in. So it is nice. It really does feel nice and cushy and supportive. To the other knee. And then you're going to kind of create that wide, frog-legged M-shaped position. Okay? Now it's completely up to you what you want to do with your shoulders.
You might move it off your microphone.
Are they saying it's affecting it?
No, nobody's saying, but I can't hear it because I've not got the sound on.
I'll try and move that out of the way. So you can also spread these a little bit, so it's completely wide on your back, creating a bit more support.
I suppose as baby gets heavier as well, you might need that bit of extra support, don't you?
Yeah. So you might prefer to have these bunched up. You might prefer to have them completely spread down your arm. Everybody's different as to what they'll prefer. You can cross... Sorry, I really should have tied my hair up today.
I did look.
Yeah,
I'm not wearing it.
Should have. You can cross this strap, which means that the baby's airways are completely clear. And you can also use this bit to tuck little one's head in. So if it's a tiny newborn, you can do that, and then it's just going to really give them a bit of support. And your last thing is to find your section that you made earlier. See, I've got a little bit off centre there.
It's all right, we'll let you off.
Not
too bad.
And pull that up.
But it doesn't matter, does it, if it goes off centre a little bit? I would have to tuck in the Moby sign if I hadn't quite got it in the centre, because my OCD would do my head in.
I'm just fashionable off the side, off centre.
Off the side, yeah,
so
absolutely.
That is it. Sorry. Baby's not going in there. It's completely secure in there, and it's really comfortable.
So Coral Valentine Newton says, oh no, I've got a call. I wanted to see about twins, but she's going to join us later. Well, we will post this back on our wall. Yeah. We will post it on YouTube. So today we're looking at the Moby range. We've recently had Moby enter our store. We've got our in-house baby wearing consultant. Get that out.
Well done.
Kelly with us today. We love baby wearing here. I think particularly, obviously, yourself and myself and Georgia. We very, very into baby wearing. I wore my daughter. Tried with my son. Didn't work, but it didn't work because I didn't know what I know now. So if you've got a carrier at home, even if you haven't got it from us and you've got any questions, do get in touch. We are more than happy to help.
Send us pictures. We can do a fit check, see if there's a reason why it might be uncomfortable for you.
So a lot of people, when they're putting on a wrap, baby is sort of down here.
Yeah. So the whole point of baby wearing is amazing if you do it safely and correctly. So you've got the TICS guidelines, which is kind of something just to make sure and just have in the back of your mind. Don't just have to go through it, but just have it in the back of your mind that you're doing all the points. So T is for tight. So you can see there, baby is nice and supported. There's no material kind of hanging off. That's why I was saying when you pre-tie it, make sure that you've only got a little bit of leeway so you haven't got to then readjust to make it tight enough.
So if it doesn't feel tight enough, can you tighten it up with baby already in?
You can. So all you're doing is kind of following it back the other way, so wherever you need it tighter. So if you need this bit tighter, find where the strap comes through, and can you see how it pulls the material out? So you can tighten a little bit more.
Claire Farley said, do they cause issues with long hair getting stuck in them?
Not usually, but my hair is usually on top of my head in a scruffy mum bun. So
mum bum or
mum bun. I've also got a mum bum too. But yeah, obviously I'm trying to do it so that I'm not in the way of you seeing what I'm doing. I should have tied it up. That was a bit silly.
That's all right.
I'm sorry, I do apologise.
Do apologise.
But this bit you can tighten because this is connected to this bit. So if you find this is a little bit loose, you can pull this down here and then just follow it through all the way until you've pulled all the slack out of wherever you need it to come out of.
So we've got a few questions about little one in there, about supporting baby's neck when they're a little bit younger. So how can we help to support? Because babies have very floppy heads when they're newborns. So
you can tuck them in if you want to. You could get a muslin and just put it into like a long tube, and you could put it under here and it creates a little bit of a neck support, so you can do that. But if this is tied correctly and this sits under baby's head, just under their ears, it's going to support them anyway, and they're kind of leaning into you and tucked into you anyway.
And baby decides which way they're going to face, don't they? Baby will naturally usually turn their heads one way, because what we don't want is basically baby facing you.
So yeah, I'll finish the tick then. Yeah. So that's in view at all times. So you should be able to glance down and see that baby's airways are completely unobstructed. They've not got material all over their face. They're completely able to breathe.
Always good.
Yeah.
Always good.
I like being able to breathe. Close enough to kiss. So probably the most common mistake is that people tie too low,
don't they?
So you need to just be able to drop your head without doing too much. Don't know who else has been kissing this baby today, but I've just kissed it, COVID friendly.
I don't think anyone's kissed the baby. You're all right. You're all right. Claire Whiteley has said, if she buys one, do we get a Kelly for free to help us? Yeah, no problem.
I'll come visit you, Claire.
Yep, no problem.
Send me in the post. Need a big box.
I've got big boxes. It's fine.
There's loads behind Jose, actually. Don't turn around, Jose. Nobody needs to see that. There's boxes
it's box
you.
room.
What was I saying? Close enough to kiss. So don't have them down here because that will pull on your back, and also baby will kind of just dangle and not be supported. Centre of gravity, you want to feel like baby is part of your weight. So like you've put on 7 pounds, which everybody loves doing, rather than carrying the 7 pounds. So into you so that it's part of you. K, so that is to keep the chin off the chest. So again, make sure they're not kind of curled up in a
baby.
Curled up in a ball. They need to have you need to be able to just put 2 fingers under there so you can make sure that their, again, airways are clear. And then supported back is the S one for your final one. So you need to, when they're born, their backs are very curved, and then gradually as they get older, their spines straighten. Like me and Joe, so ours are so straight because we started.
So straight,
so good.
Absolutely.
But theirs is very curved, so it wants to be supported. So you're supporting that curve. You want to be able to push on the back, and they're not arching to then they've got room to get closer to you. Pushing there, baby's not going anywhere.
So Sarah says she's always worried about the knot coming loose. Has that been a problem for you? No, I've never had a problem with that. I know how to tie a knot. It's just a standard knot. It's no like special way of tying, sailor knot or anything. You're basically double knotting. And if you don't like the bits hanging, you can just tie them round, can't you, if you're a tidy freak? Yeah. And you can tie it at the side, as we said.
If you're little,
tie it at the front.
Than me.
Yep, not managed to do that one myself.
But yeah, you can see there how much material we've got left. So somebody said about the size of people wearing. There's a lot of fabric left there, and I could probably get more out if I tightened up again. So you've got plenty of fabric there to suit most sizes. So Shannon, good morning, Shannon. She has said, what weight does this go up to? So this is up to 15 kilos. Which is quite a lot, isn't it? It is. I've not used a Stretchy as long as that. No, I didn't. I've kind of moved on to a different I moved from my Stretchy when my daughter was, 7 months, 8 months. I think that's when I moved on. Just began to found her a little bit heavy. Few questions here, so keep those questions coming. But we've got quite a lot of people asking, how long can baby stay in a wrap like this? Forever. It's going to be very smelly after a while. No, there is no time frame. So I know we talk about time frames in the swings or in car seats more importantly, but this is a very natural position. So you could walk, just imagine the wrap's not there. I could walk around holding my baby like this all day if that's what I needed to do. And it's just creating a natural position for you holding. It's kind of another pair of hands for you to be hands-free. It's like a hug, isn't it? Yeah. It really does. It's very natural. They're in their upright position. As long as you're following the ticks, it's completely safe. So you only need to get them out if you wanted to, feed them, change them, give them a bit of stretch out if you wanted, if they were getting a bit grumpy, being in there. And I used to walk along because I had Florence in the summer, and then when it got to winter and it was a bit cold, I used to put my hands underneath. Is that all right? Yeah, just to keep them warm. Yeah. Just tuck my hands under there. Like a little bit of extra gloves. Some carriers have like little pockets you can put your hands in. So we've also got the question about what does baby need to wear when they are in a wrap? So this counts as another layer because, well, basically you've got 3 more layers over the top. So you don't want to overdress baby when you're baby wearing. Plus they're attached to you, so you kind of get a bit warm, aren't you? Radiator for them anyway. And if you've just had a baby, you're often a bit of more of a radiator, aren't you? Because your hormones are going up and down. Yeah. The only things that you really need to be worried about is their head if it's out. Pop a little hat on if you're out and about, and also their feet. So you can. Not always baby grows are a great idea, especially if they're on the tighter side, because you can, when you're wrapping, you kind of bunching the material up at their legs, and then it's pulling on their little toes and can be a little bit too. Do we? So either a footless baby grow, or just make sure there's plenty of room that you've pulled it right out. You can put bigger socks over there to keep the little legs warm. I used to put an extra pair of socks on, particularly as it got to autumn and winter, an extra pair of socks on, or 2 pairs of socks. Yeah. Baby, you can get baby wearing like little booties that keep their feet warmer. So it's the extremities really, apart from the hands, which are generally tucked in, nice and warm. their head and their little feet that you need extra on, but you don't need to overdress them, especially not more than you would wear yourself, because they've got this wrap all around them. So if like somebody said about in the summer, you could literally take them out in their nappy if it was a really hot day, because this is completely offering everything they needed.
So yeah, and obviously if you are out in the summer, make sure that you are protecting little one's extremities from the sun as well.
Yes, yep.
So really, really important. Somebody asked that earlier. So that's kind of your Moby Wrap for one child. But I hear down the grapevine, you can carry twins.
When they're smaller, obviously it gets a little bit more difficult as they get bigger in a stretchy wrap, just because you kind of lose space on your frontage. So getting baby out, I'll show you that first. So all you need to do, always have one hand on the back of baby.
Before you get baby out, somebody has asked, can you breastfeed in a stretchy?
Yeah, stretchy material, so just pull it down. Make sure you're wearing something boob accessible. Pull down.
And off you go.
And off you go. Yeah, or you could just take one arm out if you find that it's easier to take an arm out to get to it. You're still supported there.
Yeah, I took one arm out generally.
And you can use
once I'd done it a few times, it was really easy.
If you're wanting a lot more support, you can also take one leg out there and put both legs through that, so they're in more of a cradle position, but only while you feed, and then put them straight back up again, because a cradle position is not an ideal position, because then they're very curled up, airways aren't clear, so only for while you're literally feeding. But yeah, I've walked around parks, none the wiser, apart from if somebody comes up to you and wants to talk to the baby and you're like, you just pat my boob there.
Yep.
I've lost my arm.
Somebody has asked, Kim Nichols has joined us. She says, oh, just a nappy. Can you imagine the poo? Is this washable? I assume it is.
Yes. It is. Is that the Kim Nichols that I know, maybe? Hello.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Kim Nichols, is this the same one?
But yeah, it is
like that. Yes, it is. Kelly, you've got
Kim has tested for us before. She's tested out in the past.
Okay. So hi, Kim. Kim.
Yes, machine washable. So you can take this all off and chuck it in the washing machine. Wash it.
And they do get softer in time as well, don't they?
Yeah.
As you wash and wash and wash them.
Yeah.
But I never found mine lost the ability to wrap. It didn't go saggy.
No,
or
they don't
like
lose
that.
their stretch. No, they're perfectly fine. The material has been designed specifically to wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap.
So, right, we jumped on a bit. How do we get baby out?
So, pull down your pass. That was your last thing to.
So your
to
pass
attach.
is like your tummy band, isn't it?
Well, it's one pass.
band.
This is one pass. This is one pass. This is one pass. So that pass.
Triple pass.
Triple pass.
Triple pass.
So then you're going to take your just support baby. Pull one leg out. Pull the other leg out. Free. And then you can leave that on while baby's having a play on their play mat. Do whatever you want to do.
As we said, if you need to go in the car or
loo.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's really, really easy.
Yeah.
So we've got ladies who are asking about twins.
Lucky ladies with twins.
Lucky ladies with twins. So, do we need, if we're going to wrap our twins, do we need a particular wrap, or are we able to use something like the Moby Classic?
You can get specific baby carriers, so like a buckled carrier that's got two separate sections in, or when they're little, a wrap is perfect.
Are you going to show us?
Yeah. Twin number one. So basically, one baby is going to sit in each of the passes here. So pass this baby in here first of all, and pass the material. You're still kind of doing what you did before, but you're creating it from one section.
So
which
we're
is
still
why
going knee to knee?
Knee to knee, yeah. Still going knee to knee, and kind of trying to create your M shape still. Can you pass me your baby, please?
I can.
Thank you.
How is our baby? So if they're a bit floppy, can we still support their heads?
Yep, you can still tuck that in there. So that you can see, I know that's not a real baby, but it's still weighted.
You're saying this is not real? These are weighted, these are not just dolls, these
they're
are
not,
weighted.
They do act a little bit more, but that baby is quite secure in there.
Right, twin number two.
Twin number two is going into the side. And you're going to do the same thing as you did before.
Zara Cave is so excited.
So you're going to...
Katrina Mullen says, oops, I'm a bit late, sorry. We will forgive you on this one occasion.
And apologies
Katrina,
if
okay.
I am... So these... What size are these babies meant to be? Are they newborn size?
No, they're slightly
newborn?
bigger than newborn.
Yeah, so I was going to say,
2
so
to 3
newborn
months.
twins are probably...
A little bit. The newborns that we had in store just before we came live, they were a lot
3
smaller
weeks
than this.
old. So they were a lot smaller. So that, actually, even without doing anything else, they're pretty supported. You couldn't be hands-free, obviously, because they could fall. But that is offering a lot of support there. The material is lovely and cushioned to them. They're in a nice, kind of, with these kneeless babies.
Kneeless babies. Your babies will have knees, don't worry.
Yes, they will. And then your final thing is your band over the top. Once you find all the legs.
4 legs, count them in, count them out. So we are looking at the Moby Classic Wrap this morning, or it might be this afternoon now. We've looked at it for carrying 1 child, and we're now looking at it for carrying 2 twins. Look at this. So they can talk to each other. It's so nice. They've got eye contact and everything.
And because as well, but twin babies tend to like to be together, don't they?
Yeah.
So they can really snuggle up there. Still go along with your TICS guidelines. Make sure it's nice and tight on them. In view at all times. Both babies I can see there. Close enough to kiss both of them. Keep the chin off the chest and obviously supported backs. So that is all there in that.
Do you know, it's not that difficult, is it?
No.
And the nice thing is that your wrap, putting your wrap on, is really, it's the same for 1 child or 2 children. So if you suddenly, one of them goes to sleep, or you put them down, or dad comes home, or grandma comes home, and they've got one of the twins, you don't have to retie it or do anything different.
No,
You've
it's
got
exactly
1 or
the
2
same
children.
time. Yeah.
So Bonnie has said, will it carry, do you think, 2 babies 10 months apart? So if you've got differing ages, I think you're going to struggle with that one,
I think you might struggle, yeah, because not only are you going to be a little off-centre, the wrap will be as well. You're not going to have even sides. And I think at 10 months as well, you're kind of pushing it to the end of, well, not to the end, because it can go up to 15 kilos, not the weight limit, but...
I think with an extra child, though.
You're gonna run out of room. Like I said, this is kind of fine, and they've both got plenty of room. You could have a bit bigger because there is a space in there to have 2 bigger children. But I think 10 months might be a
So
little
if you
too much.
had a newborn and a 10-month-old and wanted to baby wear, what would you do?
My suggestion would be tie your wrap on the front for your newborn. You've got your straps out of the way, nice, the flat straps so they're sitting across you. And then I'd probably look at a buckle carrier on your back for your toddler. So then you could just put, or already do your waistband, so you've got room, because the newborns sat quite a lot higher because it's smaller. You can have your waistband quite comfortably here of your buckle carrier.
Yeah.
And then your straps could be over here, because baby's going to sit more central, not like these twins are. So then you've got space on your
back.
Shoulders for your chest.
So you could really carry twins on your front and a toddler on your back.
If you want to be super mum, you could do that.
We're all super mum. However many children we've got, we're all super mum.
You're all doing a fab job.
Absolutely, an amazing job. So we have got a number of brands in store. We've got a few people asking. Emily says, are there any other brands to experiment? So wrap-wise, we've got a few brands, haven't we, in store? We've got
Isme Wrap.
Isme Wrap. We've got the Ergo Baby Aura. And the Moby Classic Wrap and the Moby Evolution Wrap. Yeah,
and then if you want to go a little one step further in a pre-tied wrap, you've got the Moby Fit Hybrid and the Close Caboo carrier. So they're they've got rings which you tighten, and those 2 crosses that I created with the wrap, they're already done for you.
So Emmy Jones says she's got a wrap, but she finds it loosens after some time. Does this one stay tight?
Yeah, you're probably not tightening enough to start with. Tends to be the case. But as you're going through the day, you can just make sure that you take any slack out every now and again if you've got it on all day.
So, Moby Wrap for twins.
But that's I'm quite tight there. I've done it quite tight. I can't imagine this loosening off too much.
No, I think so. So it does look very comfortable.
Yeah. Babies are very supportive.
I think people worry about they might fall over as well, don't they?
Yeah.
With a carrier on.
Yeah.
But actually, when you
It's
fall,
that whole centre of gravity thing that we said about before.
But also, when you fall, imagine this is you. How many of you...
Do you want me to replicate falling down?
Yeah.
With the baby?
How many of you have actually fallen flat on your face? You usually fall to the side. You fall back,
onto your knees.
Onto your knees. Or your reflex is to put your hands out.
Probably, if you were going to fall, they're better in a carrier than you carrying them and falling.
Yeah, because you just drop them. Because you automatically
you've got nowhere to stop yourself or protect them. So at least now you've got a hand to kind of go.
Yeah.
Oh! That's me falling.
Help. I like your falling. That's great.
I am an actress, aren't I?
So one of our viewers today said, sorry for the overshare. I have big
boobies.
Like this. Yep. Is there still room for the babies?
Yeah, well, I've not got small boobies, and I've got 2 babies in here.
All right.
Yeah.
Boobs all right? Babies all right?
They feel nice in there, yeah.
But I think that is a lot of people do, if you are, should we say, well endowed, that you do worry about that. But actually, it's not an issue.
No, baby's going to have a nice bosom for a pillow, so they're not going to mind.
Airbags.
Yeah.
Airbags.
Just don't tie them too tight in there and suffocate them in the boobs.
Make sure they can breathe. Definitely.
Talking about boobs though, if you are breastfeeding, and even if you're bottle feeding, because you need to know as well, having them this close to you when they're tiny, it allows you to pick up on those feeding cues straight away. So they start getting their hands to their face and doing those kind of things. You can pick straight up on the feeding cues and know that they're going to need feeding before you get to the screaming, crying stage.
So, a lot of people are saying this looks really, really convenient. Now, shall we go over the move, or shall we save the move for another day? Because I think we've had a really good focus. Let's run through the move very briefly and what it does.
Shall I leave my babies in them?
Leave your babies in. We've got our baby in here.
So maybe we could do we'll do a buckle focus then.
Yeah.
One day. So yeah, because there is a lot to talk about when you talk about Stretchy Wrap.
Yeah, definitely a lot to talk about.
So this is buckles. Some people just prefer buckles. They like the fact that it's a buckle that they can clip. It's not on them, is it?
Yeah.
To tie something and get it right. So you've got your buckles. They've got the safety clips on as well. So you have to press the button and do that to release. So they are a safety buckle as well. You can't just accidentally catch it. You've got a nice big lumbar support there on the back. So you've got your waistband that you would do at first. It's adjustable in here with your Velcro, so to create a much narrower base, because you can use it from birth.
Yeah.
That is a much narrower carrier than having it spread way out of here for then using it for a toddler. So you can see how much that expands, having it to the narrowest bit and right out here.
So it's very, very adaptable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's important to completely support baby from knee to knee, all the way along the bum and then to the legs, not just crotch dangling as some of the narrow base ones kind of do.
They're proper carriers, aren't they? They're not...
Yeah. See how wide that goes to.
I don't know what the word is I'm trying to look for. Ones that have just been produced and just stuck a label on that says baby carrier. They have been properly designed to be
they're designed to be ergonomic,
for baby,
comfortable
and safe for baby.
and safe, yeah.
And
you've got a little hood
as well.
there. Your straps, because you can unbuckle them, you can either cross strap them, which is a bit more supportive and kind of like what I've got on my back now.
Cross strapping.
Or you can H strap, which is just over both shoulders and then just using your chest clip to hold it onto your shoulders. But it comes in lots of nice designs, and the move is $99.99, so it's a little bit less than some of the buckle carriers that we've got.
It's good value,
Good value for money. I'm just going to grab the box so I can make sure I've not missed anything. So you've got your breathable mesh on there, really padded shoulder straps for comfort, easy adjust finger loops, the lumbar support which I've just showed you. You've got a little pocket on there for anything that you want to just take with you if you don't want to take your full bag. If you're going for a little walk, it's machine washable, same as the wraps.
Oh, they need to be machine washable. Look where baby is, and they're going to be sick at some point.
Yeah, they are. Suitable from birth. And then this is the all position one. So you've got 4 positions. Baby facing in, like my 2 babies are facing in here. You've got on the hip, if you find that more comfortable, or if you're doing something that you don't need them on your front, if you want them a bit to the side. Facing out, which we've got here, this lady's doing with her little one. Not recommended for too longer periods of time, but fine for shorter times if you're at the zoo or something and they want to look at the animals.
So
and then
how long can we have baby facing outwards, and how old do they have to be?
So they want to be able to sit supported, so they've got no head support being this way. Otherwise they'd just kind of be just like that and there'd be no point doing it. So you would definitely not do it from birth. So like 6 to 9 months when they've got head support, they're used to sitting on their own. they can then forward face, but maybe for half an hour at a time.
Yeah,
and then
20
face
to
back
30 minutes.
To you.
But it might be that time when you, I don't know, you're watching Sports Day with older siblings, or I used to go to like the nativity play and put my little one in a wrap.
Yeah.
Or in a carrier.
Facing out
just for that period of time.
Yeah.
Because you can sit down with them on as well, can't you? You don't have to be standing.
No, their legs are up and out the way, and as you're carrying them a little bit higher, they're not in your way for sitting down. And then finally on your back. So kind of the forward-facing one is when they're older and they want to see more, but you're not really confident with putting them on your back yet. So the final stage, once they're old enough, and again, it's the same kind of time, on your back, you wear it a little bit higher and they can just see over your shoulders. They can see everything they need to see anyway.
So Shannon, this one is $99.99. So we've got a few questions.
Yep.
Which would you recommend for a newborn, the wrap, or would you recommend the move, because you can use it from newborn?
I'd always go wrap. But if you want longevity-wise, and you know you're going to carry for longer, say from birth to 2, then go with the move, because it's going to save you money at the end of the day. But perfect for baby, I would go for the wrap.
I like a wrap for newborn.
Because it's just so
soft. It's
like
soft, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's perfectly tied and fit for any newborn. So even if within the weight limit, if they're really little but heavier, then it might not fit quite right, and you might be able to not get the perfect fit. But in a wrap, you can.
But if you've got a baby who's sort of 3-4 months old and that little bit older, then perhaps this might work, because
if you're starting to
have the longevity. So you know, it's kind of swings and roundabouts.
It is.
We often find the men, I don't mean to sound sexist, but the men like the buckles, don't they? So a lot of people will start with that, but then move on. Mum might wear that, dad wear that. But you have got the longevity. And a lot of people say, you can still carry a toddler?
Yeah. My 3.5-year-old is now 21 kilos. Sometimes still goes on my back when we walk the dogs, or if we're going anywhere particularly far. He's not been in a pushchair since last summer, I think, when we went to Scarborough for the week. The last time he was in a stroller, just in case because we walked quite far. But yeah, just the odd walk if we're going anywhere, or if he's just a bit tired, then he'll jump on my back in a toddler carrier. So you can then move on to a toddler carrier that's a lot bigger and a lot wider. So I use a Beco brand.
Yeah, I used toddler carrier for my daughter.
Tula?
Yes, Tula toddler. And it was really useful when we were going through the airport. You know, she was tired, you've been on a flight, a bit crotchety, lots of sound.
You've already got all your baggage, you've got no hands.
Other children, you know, my daughter is prone to running off. If she's on my back, I know exactly where she is. Even when we went to the zoo, I think she was probably about 3 when we went to the zoo, because we haven't been able to go to the zoo for such a long time. She was on my back, she could see over all the fences and everything, which actually worked better for her than being down here. So we are big fans. Bonnie says these look so much safer than my carrier. Well, if you need any help with your carrier, Bonnie, do get in touch. We're more than happy. Emma Louise Ryland says she could put her 3-year-old in a carrier on your back. Yes, you can. You can indeed. And Claire Louise Baker says, perfect for all these holidays. We are all due then. Yes,
definitely.
Yes.
I was actually looking at Airbnb last night and looking at a few different places, thinking,
oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice. So Emmy says, I've never baby carried with my 2 older children, but she's loving it now with her 15-week-old.
Oh, lovely.
That's really nice. I didn't carry my older children particularly. Florence, my younger one, she screamed when we first put her in a carrier. And that's the other thing to remember. You've got to get used to it. Baby's got to get used to it.
It's not straight away for them, is it?
Just to pop them in a carrier and then off you go for a whole day. I always recommend when people come in store, practice at home. Often, because you are a bit nervous about dropping your baby, sit on your bed. You won't drop your baby because your natural instinct is not to drop your baby.
Yeah, you don't just walk around carrying it and go,
oops, Daisy. But you are nervous about doing it. So we often say, just try it at home at first. You know, you can poodle around your house, just go for a walk around the block or something like that. You know, don't go out for a full day with your baby carrier for the first time.
When you get a bit more confident as well, movement soothes them. So if they get a little bit annoyed because you're trying to wrap them up, kind of just give it a little bit of movement, so that it's going to soothe them anyway as you're doing it.
So Jane Woodcock says she carried her daughter until she was 4 and she couldn't walk. For a lot of people, that is an absolute godsend, isn't it, having a carrier? And I carried my daughter for longer because she's got special needs and she would just run off. So for us, it worked incredibly well. So, shall we draw our winner today?
I forgot about that. I was just going to say bye.
Yeah, bye. No, I think we'd have messages of complaint there, Kelly.
I wouldn't blame them.
So today we have been celebrating the fact that we have the Moby brand now in store and online. It joins some other well-known baby wearing brands. We've got Ergo Baby, we've got Close, and we have Isme, and now we have Moby.
Well, there'll be another one coming soon as well, won't there?
There will. There will. More coming soon. More coming soon. We love baby wearing. We absolutely love baby wearing. We love safe baby wearing, and we are more than happy to help if anyone has any questions. We have our in-house qualified baby wearing consultant. Little stars there for Kelly. But if you have any questions, please do get in touch. But we're very passionate about baby wearing. We have them in store so you can try them on. It's a little bit hard when you're pregnant, isn't it?
The lady earlier, she struggled because she was trying to tighten a place that she would have it, but obviously there was a baby in the way.
There's a bump.
She was having to have it quite high and that baby was up in her face.
But it does give you an idea. Yeah. And dads can carry too as well. It's great when we have dads coming in and want to be fitted with a carrier. And also we can usually find something to fit different shapes and sizes, because I think that is something that people worry about. But they are all adjustable. You know, so
yeah, even though obviously they've got a lot of adjustability and your straps of this carrier, because they're all nicely tucked in now, which I'm going to just mess them up. You've got a little strap on there, but you can completely pull that out.
Yeah, we fitted a carrier to a gentleman a few weeks, probably about a month ago, a larger gentleman, but we managed to get it to work so that he was comfortable and the baby was comfortable. And he went out with an absolute grin on his face because he didn't think it was going to be possible.
Oh, that's nice.
So we did manage it. So we are love our baby wearing. So let's draw our winner. The way that we draw our winner for all of our lives, and we give away something every single time we go live. We try to go live Monday to Friday around about 11:30. Occasionally we have to bump it to the next day, depending on obviously if how many people are in store and how many staff we have who are willing to come on camera. Yeah. But generally we go live every day at around about 11:30.
Don't really want to take the twins out. I might sit at my desk like this.
Yeah, you can do. They can stay in as long as you like, and there'll be no dirty nappies that are going to get.
Yeah, there'll be no explosions.
No exploding nappies. So let's draw our winner. Who wants to win? So I'm just going to scroll up and down and up and down, and whenever you are ready, Kelly, you can shout stop. To enter our competition, you just need to have commented, and you do need to be in the UK because we ship anywhere in the UK. You leave us in anticipation there, aren't you? So it's for a Moby Classic Wrap. It is. I'll just talk while you just stop. Da, da, da. So our winner today is Vicky Brady. So well done, Vicky. I'm just going to reply to you with a congratulations. Vicky, just send us a message with your name. Obviously, we know your name, but with your name, your address, and your mobile number for the courier, and what colour you would like. If you send us a message, we can send you a link to them all. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit about Moby. Today we focused on Moby Wrap, but we will be doing another live and focusing more on our more structured carriers another day. So thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you soon.
Bye from us and the twins.
Goodbye.